A secret theory. Basically, a former CIA officer and a president looking for a reason to strike. This isn't a movie plot. This is unfolding inside Washington right now. Well, the mystery begins in Puerto Rico. U.S. Attorney W. Stephen is quietly interviewing two men, a former CIA officer, Gary, and a Venezuelan exile, Martin. These two claim that they have proof of a massive scheme tied to Venezuela. They have briefed investigators in Tampa, and then they took their story to far-right commentator Laura's podcast. The podcast? Well, that particular podcast reached Trump. That man sat with Lagan, author Ralph. That person also joined in, and together they revived an old explosive story that was built around a self-published book called Stolen Elections. Hours later, Donald Trump reposted the podcast clip and he typed just one line: "We must focus all of our energy and might on election fraud." What he didn't say, it mattered more. Trump didn't mention Venezuela directly. He didn't need to. The entire podcast was about Venezuela here, about alleged interference, about a theory that refuses to die now. Be it troops, be it ships, be it pressure, everything is there right now. While the debate, it rages online, Trump has already moved the assets. A US Navy aircraft carrier is now near the region. Military resources are flowing in and the administration is turning up the heat. Here, Venezuela just designated the so-called Cartel de los Soles, a Venezuela-linked terror, as a foreign terrorist organization. Now, this comes after the Treasury had already labeled it a global terrorist group. In fact, back in 2020 indictment, the US even accused President Nicolás Maduro of heading that network. So the question is this about drugs or about a war narrative? Here, David, a political science professor, puts it very bluntly that inside Trump's White House, if something captures Trump's attention, it becomes a policy. He also says that narco-terrorism isn't convincing Trump's bases here. They don't want foreign wars, but an attack on America's election system, that, he says, is a stronger trigger, a more powerful story, a potential justification for military action. Another explosive question: is the president now endorsing your theory? Well, his response was dramatic. The president knows that this is not a conspiracy theory. He knows the truth. He even said that the DOJ has the evidence. That's right. But you know what? Venezuelans themselves are divided right now. One Venezuelan opposition figure, somebody who hates Maduro, called the theory nonsense. He told reporters anonymously that there are people inside the White House that are letting these guys in. They are overselling this crap. Some people still won't let go of 2020 elections conspiracy. Let's look at a bigger picture here. Basically, a podcast, a theory, a former CIA officer, a president reposting a clip, and the US warships moving into the position. Is this intelligence? Is this misinformation? Or is somebody trying to build a case for something much bigger? The whole region watches and awaits.